go through that much already? Because that thing was full to the brim.
I went through one bowl of pretzels. That's it, actually. It's one bowl of pretzels. That's not that much. I'm currently making my biscuits and gravy, okay?
Hi, Cooper. Say hi.
Hi.
Why is your... Is my knee in the way? It is now.
I don't know.
Yo, holy agreement.
Next. That's actually not that bad compared to a lot of them. They're usually way longer than that.
Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi.
You look traumatized. JT, you're in charge of the volume.
Okay. What's the other one?
Nobody can figure out the remote, guys. I swear we're smart robotics people.
I don't want to put it any higher. Yeah. I'm gonna get my drink. Where's Eva?
JT, what flavor is that?
Sour bucks. Very sour.
And First Programs is also live.
It's rainbow.
Essentially.
No, the way you look so disappointed.
That's like the size of an entire FTC bundle.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger.
Larger.
These are our best motors, like type, and then they plug into.
Oh, wait, do you guys get the stuff from the one team?
Yeah.
Teams that create real, lasting change. It's not just about building a robot. It's about building opportunities. I can see why you have been awarded.
Can we just blur him out of every single photo? Hey, I'm like, look, I'm in the center of attention on a lot of photos now, okay? I mean, kind of weird.
This is professionalism.
Justin just doesn't care.
Dude, just
Autonomous and can be programmed to store fuel into the hub and climb their tower to level 1. Robots can earn additional rewards for meeting additional scoring thresholds. Robots can drive over the pumps or under the trenches to collect additional fuel from the neutral zone. And 20 seconds of the match,
ConocoPhillips is gonna love this.
drivers control their robots. Teleop is split into 6 segments.
Getting some of those game moments, the fuel, for too long.
Does that come with the kit?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when the kit is going to get here. I'll talk to Nelson about that on Monday. So we will see. So now the game.
So JT's gonna build the entire robot by himself.
I could, but I won't, because Isaac will be building most of the robot, presumably. Or us.
And teams can program the robot to pump additional
Me,
fuel
you,
or
probably
iterate on the robot to do
this
so.
guy.
In teleoperated mode, the kit bot
I think
can retrieve fuel from the ground and store it in the hub.
Example, do we want to dedicate time towards making the robot that can climb the tower? Or do we want to not do that? Do we want to be able to pick up off the ground or not? Do we want turret or not? Stuff like this we need to decide. Oh, so there's the towers where you can like score into. One of them just doesn't score any points if you shoot into. Yeah. Yes. So I think that a straight shooter. Also, I don't know how to build a turret. I haven't built a turret before for FRC, and that's a lot of motors and complicated stuff. I think instead we could, instead of doing a turret that'll increase our shooting, we can increase our intake speed.
Oh, like a vacuum.
Okay, the one thing is I think we need to be ready for all the other FRC.
This is an example of over the bumper for those of you who don't know. Like over the bumper, come back up.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be like complete murder, and then you can spend the time like just spending a ton of throwing balls over them.
Only 8?
Wait, no, you,
And then it looks like
Let's
just start with it.
and then you like drive away, and you drive to here or somewhere wherever we can, and then drive underneath that and drive into the artificial. Because you get points for just going over underneath there. And it's also probably gonna be faster.
Is there collective power?
And if you pick up these balls here, you can, if we're doing the two-way intake, we can pick up the balls as we're shooting them out here. So if there's a control limit, we don't need to worry about that because we'll be shooting out the balls out of our control immediately. And so it'll be shooting through the robot, hitting this wall and getting into our safe zone. And then we can like do that.
Justin, you're allergic to robotics already.
Yeah.
Better not be getting me sick.
Nope.
So it's not unfair. There's no catch-up system then. It's decided by who gets most points simply because I'd argue it helps to actually have the first time off, honestly, because that means that you can use that time to pick up balls and get balls ready over to your side without having to worry about scoring. because you have time to kick like balls.
I missed the point you had said about.
So okay, so you do have there is no catch-up system.
There is no catch-up.
No, because so when the team who scores most points is their hub isn't active, they can still drive around, so they'll go and they can have time to go pick up balls or do anything to get balls on their side.
So they can get their set up nicely.
Yes, and so I think actually scoring more points is a good thing because that means you can score or get points regardless if you have like you can't shoot it into your own zone. You can just still just pick up balls and then drive it over, drive backwards, and
Your
then shoot
line
it
zone
up.
would just be filled with fuel.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think he's best. And if we can take all the field, then they have no way to score more points than us.
Yeah, so that whole.
You see this, Ben?
Getting more points would be almost essential.
And outtake it.
No, because
Okay.
that eliminates, that would make us much faster. Intake, this is the back. The shooter is back here, and it shoots up and over. Because if we look here, there's a pretty good lip we need to get over, so we're gonna want our shooter to be as far back as possible while still being butted. Yeah. So we have our shooter at the back of our robot shooter.
More slippery than grippy, which would reduce the amount of energy.
And that would reduce our overpower problem.
Stowed and
Put
then
balls in both sides.
My one.
No, they had to word it like this.
It's not a reminder. How fast?
Robot friend. Why? What?
I think really fast.
Why?
I don't think.
Well, I think single shooter.
It'd be slower shooter though, because you can shoot more balls in speed, and you can also.
So the strategy for our team this year revolves around shooting the balls into the hubs and being a nuisance to the other team. For the balls, we're going to have a single front intake that's going to be deployable and kind of act like as a vacuum cleaner to go pick up the balls. And we're going to act as support for the other two people. As for being the nuisance to other people, we're going to go and try and mess with them to try and keep them from scoring points as much as we can, or pin them in the corner, stuff like that. And then when we can, during the off periods, whenever our hub is off, we can shuttle balls from the neutral zone over to our our zone, our alliance zone, where we can then score balls from there. As well, for our robot, we're planning to do a smaller design which fits underneath the little gap in the gate. This allows us to not interfere with the balls in a way where we'd land on top of them going over the bump. Because right after autonomous, we would imagine that there's lots of balls getting spread everywhere, and if we go over the bump, we could end up getting caught on the balls and lose control of our robot. So we are going through the gap to prevent that from happening. It also makes our robot more maneuverable and easier to control. We're going to prioritize faster cycle times instead of large hopper sizes. This allows us to be more efficient, so we're not spending a whole lot of time just sitting there trying to intake balls and then kind of go over the bump. That's the other reason we don't want to go over the bump, and then just kind of put them out. We'd like to have a smaller robot that prioritizes cycle speed than cycle size. The balls are the other teams are and then it just switches back and forth evenly until the end game where they're all
Then they're going to bounce off as soon as they tap it.
But the only thing that
Well, no, because it gets the channel with slower
means
ones.
is that if you try and shoot balls in that center thing, it just doesn't score any points.
You can do everything.
But you can still do everything else. Nothing changes other than the fact that center thing.
And you can technically still shoot them in there. You just don't get points.
Exactly. It would just stop. You get stuck up and over, right in the middle.
Right, somewhere in the field.
Yeah. That's our
Oh my god, for a second I saw your head shift down.
potentially moves a little bit. We had an idea of using two shooters on each side, like a dual shooter with a thing in the middle, so you could shoot two balls at once. But we were anticipating convergence issues with the two balls would hit each other in the air, so we were just planning to make a really fast single shooter that goes like. That probably.
We have the intake sitting on, this is the hopper, right? And then there's gonna be an intake sitting on this hopper, like with this angle. So down position, actually, so this is gonna be angled. We're gonna connect it to this, and like the bumpers will be here, right? So this will be this will be a gap for us to put stuff. This is gonna be where the bumper is, basically, to where the hopper is. So I think making the hopper the center of our robot and like be pretty much like the main space taker. So we can mount this either anywhere in here, or we can have it on the outside. Can we have stuff over our bumper, Isaac?
What?
Can we have stuff sitting over the bumper?
No, that has to be inside.
It has to be inside the bumper? Okay. So
L-bracket type thing.
Okay, so then I guess we move this farther out, so this will be the thing, the bumper will, this will be where we have this thing, and it rotates this way.
We'll be machining this stuff probably.
And then you have,
metal. Okay.
so then this would rotate outwards. So my favorite part about this season is the fact that there's more of one team is doing one activity while the other team is doing another, and that creates more of a situation where you have to allocate your time more efficiently to doing one task at a time. So like during when your hub is not active, which is one of the big things about this one, is that you can't score points, but you can't go and pick up balls. So it's best to go be filling up your robot while you're in shooting mode, like shooting time, and then it'll switch in like I think 20 to 30 seconds. And then you go into shooting, you shoot all the balls you collected, and so that you can maximize the amount of balls you have. So you can maximize like your scoring overall potential. And it gives more incentive to win autonomous since it's based off autonomous. And winning helps because it creates the scenario of you, like, you score the most points in autonomous. Now you have time to go pick up balls. The other team has to go shoot and pick up balls at the same time, creating a heavily biased towards autonomous, making it significantly more important, which I think is always nice because it's, I say, should be a bigger part of the, like, I enjoy having it be a big part because then it makes you design something that's good for teleop and autonomous. But not leaning towards either one because they're both equally important. I say in this particular competition, if not autonomy more important. There is a unlimited ball hold, and so we can create a system of like holding a lot of balls in, and you got to balance between holding a ton of balls and sizing and for speed. And so it creates a lot of like, you can have a variety of designs. There's not very limiting. There's no like limit on any, really there's almost no limits on this robot. Creating a much more variety, I think, in expression. So I think that we have a lot of different designs we could go for, and we have to choose between them. And we're going for this, you're leaning towards this particular capability, and there's like more than just 2 things you're trying to do for, it's like 5 or 6 or something like that. So we're if you want to write it nicer, it's like, I'm pretty bad at writing.
It doesn't matter how it looks, it's just some sort of purpose.
Yes, here, you can, this is all in CM.
How's it coming?
It's coming along. We got all the zoning completely done. So you know how we're gonna zone it out. So like this section this size, this section that size. Just trying to optimize both having a decently sized robot, making it not like super rectangular or super square. The shooter and the arm both having to be a certain size is kind of a size constraint, making the tub be kind of like compressing it. So to try to make it as best we could with 3 balls wide of a robot, so we can pick up 3 balls at a time virtually, and then we have the length that we can modify and mess with a little bit, but there's really no more extra length. Like this, we're all zoned out. So it's this, want us to look at it, zoom in closer. And that is our zoning for now. Some things will probably be changed throughout time. We might make it 2.5 balls wide. It just really depends on Isaac over there catting on the computer currently. We're gonna give him the zoning paper and we're gonna hopefully he can cat it all this week, and then we can start looking at actually building it so that when we can actually build a robot and actually have it done.
Justin's locked in.